stole a lot of my material. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming here today to share David and Charlotte's special day. I don't know whether you know, but today is a culmination of over a year in planning. But by, like all best laid plans, however, things will inevitably go wrong at the last minute. And that is why I am standing in front of you today. I was only asked to be the best man by David on Stag Do last week. His previous best man being lost at sea. Very sad. Don't worry, folks, he's actually alright. He just wasn't able to come. So, breaking a bit with tradition, I would like to raise a glass, and I'll just do it personally, to the best man, the absolute best man. God bless Windsor and all who sail in it. Rather than preparing for Christmas, I've spent this week frantically researching what the role required. Unfortunately, I drew a complete blank. There's not much on the internet about being the second best man. Thanks, Kiddy. So, anyway, I asked him exactly what he wanted me to do. First, make sure he got here with the rings, so I think pretty much did that. Make sure his hair looked nice. That did take a while. And thirdly, try not to embarrass him. I don't know about that one. Therefore, not to interrupt your drinking time too much, for the first time in my life, I will try to keep this speech short, to the point, and unfortunately not very funny. Bit like the groom then. Right. I think today has already been a fantastic day, and I will enjoy it a lot more once this speech is over. I would like to thank, again, David's parents, Brian and Judith, and Charlotte's parents, Doug and Miriam, and I know their support to Charlotte and David has been invaluable. So I'd like to raise a glass to the parents of the bride and groom. There is going to be a lot of toasts during this speech. It's mainly for filler, so I don't want you all to keep standing up. Right, at this point it is traditional to compliment the bridesmaids, so I'd like to say, and I do genuinely mean this, how beautiful Nicola, Sophie, Elna and Vicky look today. I was under instruction from the wife over there not to go too overboard because she might not speak to me again. So, would you raise a glass to the beautiful bridesmaids? Right, and Charlotte. This is probably the first time I'm going to be nice to you. I would like to genuinely say how amazing you look today, and I think you've achieved what any bride wants to be on their wedding day, and that is the most beautiful girl in the room. So, to Charlotte, the most stunning bride. It's the drink that's keeping us going. Right, I've got a couple of messages. One is from Kenny Barker, who was on the phone with me from Canada this morning, and he just wanted to say he's sorry he can't be here, but he hopes to have a wonderful day. And I do believe Trevor is recording this. Hi, Kenny. And he will be getting this via YouTube, or hopefully not YouTube. There's another one, Charlotte's Auntie Liz and Uncle Ray, who live in San Diego, and said, hope you have a wonderful day. And I also got a text from Windsor, the former best man. He says, having a great time in Mexico, enjoying the wedding, lol. I would like to raise a toast again to Kiddy's Nana, who can't be here today.
mind you, it's possibly not a bad thing she can't come today. On Vicky's wedding, she ended up getting so drunk that she had to send me in an ambulance. So at least we know where David gets it from. Right, so enough of the formalities, now on to the character assassination, I'm in speech. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Bryn, the second best man. I've known Kiddy since high school, and it's actually been quite a task to write this speech. Not because I had a week to do it, it was the sheer volume of material I had to work with. Therefore, I thought I'd give you an insight into the day they met. It was Friday, the 2nd of July, 2004. Me, Kiddy and Windsor were on the quayside, and we went out looking like the world's worst boy band. It was me, the fat Gary Barlow. There was Windsor, a skinny version of Meatloaf, and Kiddy, who looked like a cross between Peter Andre and the lead singer of Maroon 5. Now, Kiddy spotted two girls, Charlotte and Laura Steen. I don't know where's them. Hello. They were knocking back sambucas at the bar. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying David's a predator, but Charlotte was still at school at the time, or it may have been uni, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, the point is, he singled her out as his type, young and intoxicated. What only can come next is a bit like, well, it's probably like you know, in the nature documentaries where you see a lion stalking a gazelle across the savannah. I mean, drink does make things a bit hazy, but essentially what happened was he circled her for a bit around the dance floor, and then unleashed his killer move, the Kiddy dance. Now, for those of you who have never seen the Kiddy dance, and you may get to see it today, Kiddy very much marches to a different beat. It just isn't one that's ever been written by man. There are a few memorable occasions to the Kiddy dance. One was when we were in the Pig and Whistle. There was a lot of hardcore rave music, and he managed to get what can only be known as hard Chava line dancing going. The other was on a New Year's Eve in Mood. Now, before we went out that night, David had drank probably, what, a bottle of Jack Daniels, was it? Who knows? It was a lot. And so by 10 o'clock, he had managed to fall fast asleep, standing up with a pint in his hand. And every time someone tapped him, he would start a dance for about 10 seconds, and then fall back asleep with the pint. And he did this up until 12 o'clock. So hopefully, we'll be treated to the Kiddy dance for the first dance, maybe, Charlotte. I hope he's been teaching me. Right, so anyway, this week I've been speaking to Charlotte quite a bit, and I wanted to really find out what attracted her to David, because it's quite difficult to tell. She said it was how well groomed he was, especially his hair. Now, if Charlotte had met David a few years earlier, it would have been an entirely different story. For someone who doesn't like to be the centre of attention, and I know this speech is probably killing him at the moment, Kiddy can only be described as what's having a lot of interesting haircuts. Would you agree, Kiddy? No. All of which had amazing women-repellent abilities. It all started in 1998. We would have been about 16 or 17 at the time, and the Romanian national team had just all dyed their hair blonde, like bleach blonde. So we all decided, nobody really knows why we did it, And that was pretty much where it went downhill from there. There was the eagle, which was a set of blonde curtains which seemed to float magically on top of his head, like a character from the Magic Roundabout. There was I think that was followed by the golden mortal, which doesn't need any explaining, it's just literally a run of dyed gold hair. And then the crowning glory, which was the sad Teletubby, which was a completely shaved head, followed by two antennas, about sort of 9 inches long. That looked down, I decided his face. Sure, I asked you the question, if you still had that haircut, would you be here today? Haircuts aside, though, David's been one of my best friends for over 20 years. He's generous, loyal, kind, a little bit stubborn. But Charlotte, as a husband, he will be able to protect me. Maybe not physically. I think he's the only person in history ever to break his wrist, not once, but twice, on the solid glass man punching an arcade game. But what he does have, and I only found out this last week, is an amazing threshold for pain. Anyone who was on the stag do and saw the thrashing that poor man took will be able to testify to that. And I do know John will do anything to keep you safe. David was actually telling me how excited he was after the wedding, and it's a thing. Ever since he was a teenager and saw it on Europe. I could go on for that, and you're probably feeling like it is. So I'll probably finish on a few words this time. It is actually hard to do that in Spanish. So Charlotte, please look after me. And David, you two will be saved. Oh, and also, avoid any free massages on the alcohol.